Hey, this is Attila, and you're listening to Movie Prosecutionists. Let's go. Okay, yeah, Movie Prosecutionists. This episode. This episode will be a little bit different. This episode will not be about one movie in specific, but more about one director. And this director is Makoto Shinkai. And for some of you, Makoto Shinkai is a name, for some it's not. Makoto Shinkai is a Japanese director of animation movies. And he basically only did animation movies if you don't count that he's also doing the backstories and that he's writing mangas, drawing mangas for the movies that he's making. So I think he's a really hardworking dude, because he's like the art director of the movie, he's the director, and he's the screenplay writer of a lot of his movies. So a really interesting guy, and I want to talk about his movies, in specific his last 3 movies. We have Your Name, we have Suzume, and we have Weathering with You. These 3 movies I want to talk in specific, and I want to talk a little bit about their success, but especially I want to talk about beauty in his movies. Because if you watch one of his movies, the phrase that you may have heard before, every frame a painting, is so true. It's incredible what he does with the sky, what he does with light, what he does with the sun, what he does with stars. His skies in general are fantastic. And also rain. I think you never saw so photorealistic rain in your life. It's incredible what he's capable of bringing to the screen in form of beauty, of raw, direct beauty of pictures. It's incredible. And also, his movies are gigantic successes. For example, Your Name, probably the movie you may know, is one of the highest grossing movies of all time in Japanese animation. And it's in general, it's a gigantic success, a worldwide success of multiple hundred millions of dollars. And it's also I don't know, it's an original story. Sometimes you have Naruto movies, or you have other kind of movies who are part of a franchise. In American movies, I remember a statistic from 2017 that 19 out of 20 highest grossing movies this year were franchise movies. So the next dinosaur movie, the next Marvel movie, the next, and so on and so on. Franchises are more secure movies that you can make, and original movies are a little bit less easy to make a success out of them and to make them be financed. So obviously this is a thing, and it's incredible that Makoto Shinkai did 3 successful original works, and this is great, and this is fantastic. And on top of that, his movies look awesome. Really, just watch a compilation on YouTube, you will be dazzled by the way his pictures are so vivid and feel so alive. And here I want to talk about, in this episode, I want to talk about beauty. Because when you think about a Makoto Shinkai movie, if I think about a Makoto Shinkai movie, I think about the pictures. There are some characters I liked a little bit in some of his movies, but most of them are they're fading away. I don't remember their names, I don't remember their developments, and so on and so on. So what you really take away is a certain sadness and a certain beauty out of his movies. And then I asked myself a question. is beauty itself? Is beauty itself enough to be excellent? Is what Makoto Shinkai is doing there excellence? Like, is he like Stanley Kubrick? Is he maybe even like Hayao Miyazaki? You know, people who create the big movies that you like have in your brain until the end of your life. Is this maybe a creator of the next Fight Club from David Fincher? And we come later to this question, but what I want to say is like they all have something revolutionizing. And the only thing I can think of as revolutionizing of Makoto Shinkai is the way he creates beautiful pictures. So obviously I ask myself the question, is this a skill? Is this something you increase, you have like a certain objectivity about, that you can measure, that you can increase? Like, obviously products of art that we have, like the movies, books, and so on and so on. These things you cannot measure, but you do know how often they are quoted, because they are timeless classics. And the question I have is, can a movie that is beautiful be because of that a timeless classic? And obviously this is a little bit of a stretch question, because you don't know. But what I want to ask myself here is, if beauty is enough to be like a skill, an objective thing. So obviously there's a difference in different beauties, like the beauty of a person and the beauty of a picture have certain difficulties in being compared to each other. But I want to go in with a little example of my own. For example, I do love the name Alicia. I love the name because it starts with an A, it ends with an A, it has a certain symmetry. You have like these high notes at the end and at the beginning. Then you have eyes in the middle, two eyes in the middle, again a symmetry. And then you have like this kind of C, Alicia. And there you have like this consonant who is very, very present and gives a certain edge to the name. So it has a personality, this name, in the same way it has a beautiful composition. So for me, this is one of the most perfect ways to have a name. I love the name Alicia. And this is like a form of subjective beauty, but I based it on reasons. And maybe you have asked yourself now, okay, do I think this name is beautiful? And yeah, maybe he has a point. But if I ask this question, everybody on this planet, I will, and even if I manipulate them first, even then there will be like a certain, some of them will say yes, obviously it's a beautiful movie. Some of them will say no. If I put an apple in every hand of every person on this planet, and I say to them they should lose this apple and the apple should fall down, yes, we will see that I'm pretty sure every one of these apples, if ceteris paribus, so every other condition is the same, will fall on the ground. So as long as they don't kick it away or something like that, this apple will fall and it will fall on the ground. And here this is very interesting, because one of them, the subjective beauty, is subjective because everybody can have a different answer. The apple is falling on the ground because it's an objectiveness that is in this case. And beauty could only be, how do I say this? Could only be objective, could only be an objective skill, something measurable, something that could be bigger, could go bigger, if you can decontextualize it, and if you could make a point of beauty that is always there. And obviously, a lot of people ask themselves the question if beauty can be like, is there some aspect, some visual, some phonetic that we always think of beautiful? And I kind of talked about it a little bit before. Symmetry was something the old Greeks loved, and they were sure that symmetry is something that all of these people think of as of beautiful. And obviously now today, like I met an artist, and he said like only the uneducated art is symmetry. An educated artist knows that beauty lies beyond the symmetry. And I'm not sure, I'm just putting this here so that you have a perspective of someone else, but it makes a point very clear that beauty is something that depends on subjective things like education. And because we all have a different education, we are not really capable of having all the same beauty standard, even though there are a lot of beauty standards we have in common. And so beauty is a difficult thing. Beauty is in somewhat a subjective thing, but has some objective or things that we believe could be objective, because there's such a long time since these are part of our culture and are seen as beautiful. But what do we make with my question if beauty itself can be excellence? Can Makoto Shinkai movie, which have as so real soul beauty, can they be excellent? And my answer to that is no. I think these movies are fantastic looking, but they miss a certain thing they want to say, that you remember what happened there. If you have watched these movies, tell me something about the characters. Tell me how they developed. Tell me something that you will adapt for your own life because of that. And obviously, a good movie does not need that. And if you just want to be entertained by a movie, you don't need that. But what I'm frustrated about is that I think Makoto Shinkai's movie have the quality, have the capability of going to this level, but they don't do it. Your Name can never be like Clockwork Orange, Memento, or Princess Mononoke, because it is not taking the character development and the feelings and the going beyond as literal as it has to be. Like, yeah, we have a little character development, but I don't remember the names. I don't remember what I should take out of these movies. They have beauty, they have sadness, but there's nothing that I see beyond it. I want to do it, and I swear to you, if this man is not doing crap for the next 10 years, I will watch his movies until the end of my life, because I think they're stunning, I think they're interesting, and they move me, but they're not making me think beyond, they're not making me want beyond. And this is something that splits apart exceptional with excellence. And that's one sad point that I want to make here. As much as I think these movies are exceptional, they are not excellent. They don't have the message, the overall message of a Clockwork Orange, which will burn into your brain. They don't have this radical feeling of wanting to do something with your life, burst out, go out like Fight Club, and they don't have this underlying sadness and feel that something like nature is going down and you have to do something and you have to like accept, or you have to fight against that Princess Mononoke is doing. So all of these movies are excellent because they go beyond, they infuse with your daily life. And that is something that Makoto Shinkai has not yet done. And I'm looking forward and I'm wanting this, and I'm really hoping that one day Makoto Shinkai is doing exactly this kind of movie that I think he is capable of. Because there is something in there, some feeling, because like these motives that he has about the sadness, about searching for his loved one, that there's some story there that I feel that needs to burst out, so that we can learn from this experience something for our real life. And yeah, that's today's episode. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed a little bit my idea of beauty and why this is like a social construct, and how it differs from physics. And I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope we see each other next time. Please comment if you have like a different idea of beauty, or if you see something very specific in Makoto Shinkai's movie. I'm really interested in that, and I would really be happy to discuss about that. So please comment in, and stay tuned. See you next time. Yeah, bye.